Hello, I'm John Garrett.
Hi, I'm James Garrett. Both John and I founded Velocity Home Lifts back in 2015. Since then, we have been a trusted name in the home elevator industry. We are committed to uplifting people, not just in the literal sense, but also through the experience that we provide. From the moment our customers choose Velocity Home Lifts, we want them to feel supported, empowered, and confident in their decision with us.
We strive to manufacture and install 500 lifts per year, helping 500 families across all demographics to enhance their independence and overall quality of life. Our lifts are designed to benefit not only the elderly or individuals with mobility challenges, but also families and homeowners seeking greater convenience, luxury, and future-proofing their forever homes. By achieving this goal, we are transforming homes and improving quality of life for people from all walks of life.
At Velocity Home Lifts, our values guide everything that we do. They define our commitment to excellence, innovation, and customer satisfaction.
We are constantly evolving, improving, and adapting to new technologies and customer needs. Our goal is to lead the home lift industry by continuously enhancing our product and services to provide better solutions for every home.
We believe in honesty, transparency, and ethical business practices. From the consultation to the installation, we ensure our customers receive a reliable information and trustworthy experience.
Excellence is at the heart of our craftsmanship. We use the highest standards in design, material, and installation to ensure every home lift is built to last. That's why we back our Australian-made Compass lift with a 25-year warranty on the motor and gearbox, ensuring long-term reliability and peace of mind for our customers.
We love what we do, and that passion drives us to create life-changing solutions for our customers, whether it's improving accessibility or adding convenience to a home. We take huge pride in making a difference.
We take full responsibility for our work and commitments. Our team is dedicated on delivering on our promises, ensuring every customer receives the best possible experience and support throughout the journey with us.
We are pioneers in the home lift industry, always seeking new ways to enhance mobility, comfort, and convenience. Our cutting-edge technology and forward-thinking designs are tailored to meet the unique needs of the Australian-built homes, ensuring seamless integration, functionality, and efficiency in every installation that we do.
I hope that gives you a sense of our values, our purpose, and our mission here at Velocity Home Lifts.
Within the Australian home elevator industry, there are three main types of lifts. One is the through-floor lifts or a shaftless lift. The next category up from that is the shafted swing door home elevators, similar to the one behind me. And then the next category above that is a shafted automatic sliding door lift, which is more common in the commercial industry. The entry-level sector of the home elevator industry is what we call a through-floor lift or a shaftless lift, as in the product does not require a lift shaft and does not run inside of a lift shaft, okay? So these products have been specifically designed to be mainly retrofitted into an existing two-story home, okay? And that particular home does not have any allowances or provisions for a home elevator. And that is the main design focus for these types of products. There are plenty of other products out there on the market besides this one. They all offer various different features and safety, and there's a lot to consider. This part of the industry has absolutely exploded in the last 5 to 10 years, just with obviously the baby boomer demographic and them not wanting to leave their homes. And sometimes there is some crossover integration for this type of product for a second floor edition perhaps, where they're really trying to pull back some costs, or they're really confined for space, all right? So if you're really super confined for space, then perhaps a through floor lift is the one for your client. The main differences with a through floor lift versus other types of home elevators is because they interact directly with the people. So there's no lift shaft separating the client or the user from other people in the home. So these lifts interact directly with people, therefore there's a whole bunch of other safety equipment on these types of products to allow that safe integration. And there are various different types of safety amongst other through floor lifts out there. Some of the great aspects of a through floor lift is that the allowances is basically just a hole through the mid floor and a 10 amp power point for the power supply. Happy days, cut a hole through the floor, build a lift through it. Very simple, simplistic, solves a problem with mobility and gives the end user some opulence, but also genuine mobility. On the downside of it, because these products all interact directly with people, they are quite speed restricted. And so there are government legislations in place with speed restrictions for these type of products, which I completely agree with, as well as all the extra safety features that these products tend to have. As I've previously mentioned, there's a lot of variations within this new evolving market. And some of those variations are some of the products they have. So these products tend to be all self-supporting because there is no lift shaft to support them. So they all have to be self-supporting as a result. But some of the key differences amongst all the various different product ranges out there is that some of these products have the supporting structure being the posts or guide rails further out into the middle of the room. Some of them have guide rails further back that sit more up against the wall but aren't necessarily connected to a wall. Some of these products out there have a full height door. Some of them actually have like a half height door, a gated door. That's some of the safety factors that are out there, and some of these products aren't actually automatic. Some of them do require a constant pressure. Those tend to be the products that have the half height gates, so that they require an extra level of safety, where you are required on those types of products to hold your finger on the button, and if you take your finger off the button, the lift will stop. And that sort of extra level of safety with those products is required because those products only have a half height gate. So as I said, there's a lot of different variations of products out there now. Over the last 5 years, there's been quite a few overseas manufacturers start getting in on supplying products for this specific type of this growing industry. Here we've got an example of a shafted swing door product, which is very common for the Australian home elevator industry. So as I've mentioned, these products do require a lift shaft, so shafted. Generally that's required, that's part of the building preparation works, so that this is something that the builder would do during the construction of the home. And there's a lot of different variations of products out there that require different things and different allowances within the design phase of the home to make sure that integration happens properly. This particular variant here doesn't require a machinery cabinet external to the lift shaft. However, most of the hydraulic products out there, pretty much all of them on the market, will require a separate machinery cabinet external to the lift shaft, which is very common and a typically a go-to for the home elevator industry, being hydraulic and reasonably cost effective. However, things have sort of progressed these days where the electric or machine roomless options are becoming far more popular because of the price difference now has come together. So you're able to get an option of a machine roomless electric driven motor as opposed to a hydraulic driven propulsion. The other things that you're going to need to allow for in a shafted product is you obviously need a pit, a recessed pit that is drawn into the engineering drawings for the slab. The other thing that you're going to need to understand too is that a lot of the imported lifts, such as the hydraulic ones from Italy and even the electric ones from Italy, will require a structural load-bearing lift shaft. Those sorts of products from Europe do use the lift shaft as a part of the structural lift or part of the lift. The reason for that is that the way that we build homes here in Australia is quite unique to the rest of the world, where we use a timber frame or what we call a traditional brick veneer build, and places like Europe and the majority of the world don't build homes in that manner. They build homes in like a solid concrete construction method. Therefore, those types of lifts do require a structural lift shaft because they're built for a construction industry that already has that component already. So those European lifts do integrate better into or are required to have a load-bearing lift shaft. So this is another thing to consider when you're looking at a potential lift supplier and particularly, how to integrate your design for the product, which is vital and important. So your client really needs to have a product chosen, selected, before you start doing your design, or your final design at least, because it's critical that all of these components for the specific lift are integrated into the design itself to make sure that the lift can be easily installed throughout the construction phase. Or furthermore, even if you're doing future provisions for a lift, you need to get a strong understanding from the client of what type of product they want to put in there in the future to make the correct allowances for that product. It's vital. Otherwise, the client will be left with future provisions for a lift that won't actually work. And we've seen it a lot in the industry over a lot of years, where people who have had a new home built and a lift shaft for future provisions built, but then when they come to buy a lift and have it installed, that they struggle to get any product that will actually work with the provisions that have been provided because they were just wrong. And so, getting back to it, it is key and vital to get all of the specifications for whatever potential product is going to go into the provisions correct during the build process. Otherwise, you're almost wasting your time. Now, the other types of lifts that you can get on the market these days, which integrate a bit nicer into, let's say, a typical brick veneer build, as in a timber frame home, is that there are products out there on the market these days that transfer all of the load, so they're essentially self-supporting. They transfer all of the load from the product down to the pit. So the pit being the base floor or the bottom floor recessed pit or sump. Okay, and then those types of products don't require that heavy duty solid concrete or steel framed lift shaft to support the lift, because the lift already has that structure essentially for itself. Therefore, it's designed to integrate into a brick veneer home. Another thing to note, the reason why some manufacturers like us have started integrating product with its own independent steel structure is simply cost. We do it because we're out to save a huge cost on the builder, or essentially the homeowner, to integrate our own independent steel structure into the lift shaft, therefore saving the build costs somewhere in the vicinity of $10,000 to build a timber frame lift shaft versus a solid concrete masonry lift shaft. Keeping in mind that the solid concrete masonry lift shaft products from Europe do require that load-bearing wall across the full length of the entirety of the lift shaft across all levels, top to bottom. So these aren't cheap things to allow for. Also, same thing too, if there is a prefabricated steel frame that gets craned into place before the home is framed up, that steel frame will need to travel or be constructed across all levels of that particular home. As I said, there's a big cost saving there for your clients if they choose to integrate a product that's been designed for a brick veneer home. Obviously, if it's a home that's a suspended slab across all levels, not just the basement, but across all levels, then there is still a cost saving to be had with a product that doesn't require the solid concrete masonry shaft across all of those levels, because even with a suspended slab variation of build, you can get the structural engineer to basically beef up the penetration with a bit more steel through the penetration, and then you can still use a timber frame lift shaft in place of that solid concrete lift shaft, which is once again still cheaper. But these are all key things that need to go into engineering. So the client really needs to be sure about what sort of product that they want before engineering, because that's where the big cost savings are had. The third type of home elevator in the Australian market is what we call a shafted sliding door lift. Now, this type of lift you would be more familiar with in the commercial sector, particularly all of the high-rise stuff. It's all shafted sliding door product. This sector of the Australian home elevator market is definitely for the higher end types of builds. So that type of product has been around for a long time. Typically, the Australian lift market, say 20, 30 years ago, was a very small, very exclusive market, and it was less than a tenth of the size of what it is today. And those are the types of lifts that traditionally used to go into Australian homes 20 plus years ago. The main difference is, obviously, as you could imagine, you've got a product that's got an automatic sliding door. Now, with those types of products, they do require generally a structural or load-bearing lift shaft, and they tend to be all from Europe. Also, too, they do require a lot more space. So those automatic sliding doors, they need to be stacked inside of the lift shaft. So when the door is open, it needs to go into essentially a wasted space or a dead space from within the lift shaft. So they're very inefficient with space as far as your layout or your footprint within your design of your home, and they do require a structural load-bearing lift shaft. Typically, 80% of your long-term maintenance cost breakdowns and repairs with that type of product will be related to the doors, okay? So they are far more mechanically complex, and they do require more maintenance costs long-term to keep them serviceable. However, there's still a strong market here for it in Australia, but it's just, it's certainly a traditional market, and it's not really a growing part of the Australian home elevator industry, because they are quite expensive to purchase, expensive to maintain, and very footprint hungry. However, there's definitely clients out there in the industry that definitely want that type of product in their home. So just a quick recap, that's the three main types of lifts that we've got in the Australian home elevator industry. I hope I've been able to demonstrate some knowledge that you guys can take with you and clear understanding on the three different types. And just to quickly recap, that was the through floor or shaftless lifts, or the shafted swing door products, or lastly, the shafted sliding door products. I hope I've been able to demonstrate a clear understanding of the three different types.
Okay, so you've just heard from James regarding the three different types of lifts that are out there in the market. Here at Velocity, we provide two different types of lift. The first type of lift is the through floor lift, which is the iconic, and the other type of lift is the compass lift, which is the shafted swing door product. These two products that we provide to the market pretty much cover 100% of the market. We've chosen these two particular types of products due to their safety, their reliability, and the features that they offer to the market. In regards to lift that we provide, which is the iconic, the benefits of that particular lift for the existing retrofit market is absolutely huge. It allows elderly people or people that have mobility issues to stay in their home for longer. They don't have to downsize. And then the benefits with the compass lift is the ease in which the shaft is built, the cost savings regarding the non-structural lift shaft, and all the features that come with the Compass lift, being an Australian-made lift with a 25-year warranty for the motor gearbox. Okay, so now we're going to deep dive down into the two different models that we have. The first being the Iconic, which is the through floor lift, and the other model being the Compass lift, which is the shafted swing door product. So now we're going to go through the features and the benefits of each product, and we'll show you what we have here at Velocity Home Lifts. Now I'm going to discuss all the features and benefits of the product which we call the Iconic. This is the through floor product. The Iconic is imported from the United Kingdom, so you know it's made from quality products with quality engineering. Now, first of all, the Iconic comes in three different sizes. We call them the small, which is a one-person lift, a mid-size, which is a two-person lift, and we also have the size here of a wheelchair, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a wheelchair-sized lift, which is big enough to carry someone in a wheelchair with the carer with them. So that would be the first thing that your client would need to decide, is what type of lift they require for their needs. Obviously, with the three different types of lifts, depending on how much room a client has in their home, will be dependent on what type or what size of lift that they can install in their property. Now, the reason why we chose the Iconic lift and are importing it from the UK, one, like I said, is the quality of the build, but also a lot of the benefits or the features that come with this particular lift. So what we like about this particular lift is, first of all, is it has a full height door. So you can see here, we have a full height door. A lot of the other products on the market might have no door or a half height door. So we think that's really important for our clients for a safety reason. Probably the most, or the biggest beneficial feature of this particular lift is the rails of the lift are placed at the back of the cutout itself. What this does is it doesn't have the rails protruding into the room. So it's very space saving, it's not intrusive. So when the lift is, say, downstairs and you're upstairs, you wouldn't even really know that there is a lift there because the rails are mounted at the back of the cutout itself. One of the design features of the Iconic lift itself is it integrates really well into existing homes. So it's not intrusive with the rails, like I mentioned before, and the design of the lift itself is very sleek. It doesn't look like it is there for mobility purposes. There is other lifts out on the market that sort of, they look like that they're there for a mobility purpose, whereas this integrates beautifully into existing homes with its nice design. You can see with the color, the grey color that it comes in, that integrates seamlessly with pretty much all color schemes of all properties. Now I'm going to talk about some of the safeties regarding the through floor lift, because as James mentioned before, the public can interact with this particular lift. So it has safeties on the bottom tray, and it also has safeties on what we call the trapdoor. So for example, if someone was to leave something underneath the lift, so the lift is upstairs and someone was to leave something underneath the lift and the lift was to be called down, let's say it's a chair, when the lift hits that chair, due to the safety switches on the bottom tray, the lift will stop and it will inform you that there is something underneath the bottom of the lift. And you can simply push the up button and the lift will go back up in the up direction. It is also exactly the same for what we call the trapdoor. So if someone has left something on top of the trapdoor, the lift is downstairs and someone calls the lift up, and there's something that's fallen on the trapdoor, as the lift comes up, it will detect that there is something on top of the trapdoor and the lift will stop. And then the same scenario, it will then tell you that something is obstructing the trapdoor, and you can push the down button and the lift will go down. So there is no worry about anything being damaged or underneath the lift, and it is exactly the same for anything above the lift as well. So all those safeties have been integrated into this lift, being a through floor lift, so that's nothing to worry about, and that's something that the guys set up and commission when they're installing it on site. Now, one of the other benefits of the Iconic lift is that it has what we call in-car self-rescue. Okay, so if something was to happen, you have a safety failure or something along the lines of that, you can actually rescue yourself while you're in the lift car. And it's very easily done. You just push the bell button and then you push and hold the down button, and the lift will override all the safeties and it will take you down to the ground level. The lift comes with a telephone, and we also have a 1300 number that is monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for after sales service if the customer has any questions, or it's just there for support. In regards to the telephone within the lift, the telephone is off of a battery backup and it runs off of a GSM. So we actually have 3 types of backup for the telephone. So we have the normal power, we have the backup power, and we also have a battery within the GSM itself. The lift also comes with backup battery as well. So if for whatever reason, if you're in the lift and you're coming downstairs and the property loses power from the supply authority on the street, the lift will still continue to run downstairs and complete its journey. So that is stopping lift car entrapment. Also on this particular lift, we have an override for the door lock. So if the door lock fails or anything along the lines of that, there is inside the lift, there is what we call an emergency key that can be used to open up the door so the client can get out of the lift. Regarding the installation of the Iconic through floor lift, we are looking at the building works to take approximately 2 working days, and the installation of the lift will take approximately 2 to 3 working days as well. That means that you can have a lift installed in less than 5 working days in someone's property. We have a lead time for an installation of a lift of anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. We stock this lift in our factory here in Penrith. We keep stock of all 3 different sizes, so it's no issue if a customer is to call us and they need a quick turnaround time. We can sometimes even install the lift quicker than 4 weeks if the client requires it. We can organise builder, or the client can organise a builder for themselves. So our lead time for the installation of the lift is generally 4 to 6 weeks. It is dependent upon the client. If they would like to wait a little bit longer, that's absolutely fine. If they need it done a little bit quicker, we can absolutely look at that as well. At Velocity Home Lifts, we back our product. We offer after sales and support. So first of all, for the after sales, we offer a 24-hour day, 7 day a week, 365 days a year. We have a technician who's on call, and that is the same with a 1300 number that we provide in the lift. So our clients can call that 1300 number any time of the day, any day of the week, and they will get in touch with someone from Velocity Home Lifts regarding after sales and support. It is also recommended that the lift is serviced annually. That is a recommendation. That is to ensure preventative maintenance is done on the lift, and anything that may arise is found before the lift might have any issues. Obviously, I've discussed a lot of things today regarding the Iconic through floor product. It's hard to mention all of its benefits and its features. Please don't be afraid to contact us and ask for a pamphlet or any further information regarding the Iconic product. Thank you.
So here we've got our Australian manufactured Compass home elevator. This is a traditional shafted swing door home elevator, very typical of a lot of, or most of the lifts going into new builds these days. This particular lift, because it's uniquely designed and manufactured here in Sydney, we've got some awesome, clever design features specifically tailored towards a brick veneer, traditional brick veneer home build. So, and that's what we've designed this product around, really, is the fact that, you know, being locally made, it's built for the Australian construction industry, because most of the European lifts that come in these days and have done forever, they're built for a structural lift shaft because obviously because of all the seismic problems that they've got in Europe, those lifts are reliant upon structural concrete masonry lift shafts, and that's the way that they build their homes throughout Europe because of the seismic problems. And the way that we build our homes here in Australia is timber frame brick veneer. And so that's what this product is really behind, the whole design premises of how can we build a better product for this country. So what we'll start off is the fact that this lift comes with its own steel, independent steel self-supporting structure. So that this lift shaft that you see here is simply a timber studded framed lift shaft with a gyprock outer lining and a plywood inner lining. And that's all that we require of the builder for our lift to be integrated into the home. Now, besides the fact that we have our own steel self-supporting structure, another design aspect that is also, really, really good is the fact that we have an electric-driven machine roomless lift. So what that means is that a typical home elevator, not all of them these days, it's becoming more popular, but a typical traditional home elevator from Europe is generally hydraulically driven. And what that means, the hydros, they require a machinery cabinet on the outside of the lift shaft. So you need to allow for provisions of a machinery cabinet, which will generally be over here. So the machinery cabinet would generally be bottom floor of the lift shaft in a big cabinet, and inside there would be a hydraulic pump, an electric motor and some valves and some controls inside a big cabinet here on the side of the lift shaft. So our product being machine roomless, we don't have any machinery on the outside of the lift shaft. All of our machinery is located on the inside of the lift shaft, both mechanical and electrical. So we have zero machinery on the outside of the lift shaft. So so all of our gear sits within the lift shaft. There's no extra provisions or wasted space on the outside of the lift shaft as well, which is also really advantageous in some designs. This particular lift is good for either a 2-level home or a 3-level home. I mean, the 3-level homes seem to be becoming more popular these days with, basement dugouts and all that sort of stuff. With the land value increasing, people are doing more smaller land size and building up higher. So this lift will do a single cabin entry or a through cabin entry exit, and we can have 2 doors on one level, so like a through cabin on one level. But yeah, so there's a lot of different configurations and things that we can do with this product. This lift comes in 4 different sizes, as well as I've mentioned, there's a lot of different configurations. This is a custom manufactured lift here that we manufacture. Some of the other smarter aspects of it is the fact that, or customizations, that we can do different cabin heights, and there's a range of many different color fit out options within the lift cabin that are all customizable, different flooring, customized options, mirrors, no mirrors, all that sort of stuff. So it's a beautiful product that is amazing value for money. Some of the best safety aspects of this product is the fact that it has all the normal stuff that you would know and expect these days in modern home elevators, where it's got mains backup battery system and all of the necessary safety requirements around making sure the door is locked when the lift isn't on that level, so the door is only accessible when the lift is on that level. All of those sort of normal swing door shafted safety features, as I said, with the mains backup battery system. But by far the biggest safety feature of this product is the true in-cabin gravity descent self-rescue system. And that's simply because we've got an onboard drive system, okay? So what makes us different is the way our machinery works, because we are Australian made. And so not only have we made for a machine roomless product, but we've also made a product that the machinery is integrated with the lift itself. Therefore, we're able to have that mechanical gravity descent. There are other variations of in-cabin rescue systems, but at the end of the day, All other variations require you to press and hold a couple of buttons to do an override thing, and there is not many companies out there doing that, but that in itself is still not 100% foolproof, because if you've got let's say a motor burnout or a relay burnout, or if it's a hydraulic one of the hydraulic valves burnout, or if your CPU, the main brain, the processor burns out, all of those things will stop the normal, press and hold a couple of buttons in-cabin self-rescue system, where this uses a mechanical variation of it because we have the onboard drive system. And that is the only reason that we're able to integrate a true mechanical in-cabin self-rescue system. So our installation times are generally 3 days for a 2-level home, or 4 days for a 3-level home. So we're quite efficient these days in the way that we install our lifts. And the most important thing though is the lead time. So from when you place your order to manufacture to when you get your lift on site, we can do that. Our standard lead time is 12 weeks, and we can do expedited lead times for as little as 8 weeks. So industry leading lead times. And the only reason we can do that is because we are the manufacturer of it, and we manufacture the lift here. Okay, so with the service and support, so the after sales service, the lift is required, or we recommend the lift be serviced once a year, every year, as per Australian standards. The lift does come with an emergency phone, and we do have a on-call 24-hour call number, emergency number, if you ever need it. More importantly, we do stand behind our product with industry-leading warranty. So our geared electric drive unit, so the brake, the motor and the gearbox, all come with a 25-year warranty. So industry-leading warranty. And the only reason why we're able to do that is because we put the best components in to this lift, because we are the manufacturer. So we choose our components. Okay, so we've chose these components, and that's why we can offer industry-leading warranty. Simple as that. Okay, so that's a wrap up on our Australian manufactured Compass home elevator. As you can see, we're passionate about the product. This is our baby. We are the manufacturer of it, which is why we can stand behind it with industry-leading warranty, like the drive unit. So the motor, the brake and the gearbox all come with a 25-year warranty. And it's simply because we are the manufacturer of the product. So we choose the components that go into this product. So we put the best components in to make sure that our products outlast our competitors and outlast our clients.
So from John and James, thank you from Velocity Home Lifts. We hope that you've been able to learn something today regarding the Australian lift scene,
and what and why we do things here at Velocity.
Please do not hesitate to contact us for a free, no obligation site quote for existing home builds,
or for a free in-showroom pre-design meeting for both designers and engineers for new builds. And please do not hesitate to contact us if you've got any questions whatsoever regarding existing builds or new builds.
From the team at Velocity, thank you very much.